This is the Great Basin seasonal outlook from August through all the way into November. Taking a look at what's going on the next couple of months. Our last day of July, and we had heavy initial attack. 19 new fires for over 2,000 acres. Our large fire growth over 13,000 acres. It was 18,000 acres the other day. So definitely peak conditions going on as we head into August. It's also been bone dry across about 80% of the area, except for the Sierra Front, some pockets of a quarter to a half inch in the last week of July, and maybe a tenth to quarter inch in some of the higher terrain of Idaho. So we're looking at that as well. Now, temperature and precipitation near normal temperatures across the region, a little cooler than normal in southern Nevada, a little warmer than normal elsewhere. But the real big thing is the drier than normal across much of the southern and central areas of the Great Basin. A monsoon has been largely absent. Most areas only getting about 5 to 25% of their normal precipitation all through Utah, the Arizona Strip, much of Nevada, and that's leading to some more increased activity. There's been increased moisture in parts of western Idaho, and that has taken the edge off a little bit. Going to the longer term precip outlook from our wet season from October through the end of April, you can see we did have wetter than normal conditions across that northern tier of northwest Nevada into parts of southwest Idaho. That's where we have a really good bumper crop of fuels. Some of the fine fuel loading in those areas, 200 to 300% of normal um, along the Nevada, Oregon, and the Nevada Idaho borders, but lesser fine fuels as you head further south. That's because of the drought on the left, covering a large portion of the area, which is only going to get worse as we go in time through August and September. Our eddy or flash drought index, the past 3 weeks ending July 25th, you can see very extreme indices across much of the area where we currently have large fires, from the parts of the Arizona Strip into the Dixie and Fish Lake and even the Manti National Forest. So where we have the Monroe Fire and the Dragon Bravo Fire down south in Swix area, big concern also in western Nevada, watching that as well. A bit of a respite up in Idaho. It's not going to last forever. It's been drier over in western Wyoming. Looking at our winter snowpack, this was from early April. We did have above normal snowpack in some northern areas, especially also the central mountains of Idaho, but that's all since been gone. All it did was delay fire season in some spots, but really not a factor much anymore. And then looking at some of the fuel conditions, fine fuel yields on the left, you can see the darker greens in northern Nevada and southern Idaho, where we have a really good fine fuel crop. Also, the evasive species coverage popping up largely in parts of northern or northwestern Nevada and into the Snake River Plain as well, and also in parts of western Utah. So that's also goes into the mix. Rangeland grass. This is a kind of experimental product. Great Basin rangeland fire probability areas, and the higher numbers indicate, part of it where the fine fuel loading is and brush, and parts of northern Nevada and southern Idaho more so under the gun there. Our fuel moisture is going into early August, very low and critical across much of southern Nevada and southern and western portions of Utah, modified a bit up in Idaho from recent showers. The 100-hour fuels areas in the gold, which encompass, I would say, most of uh, the Great Basin. That's where any ignition can possibly burn. Anything in these red areas in western Utah or southern Nevada, that's extreme, below 5% on the 100-hour scale. 1,000-hour fuels also, anything in the gold. 1,000-hour fuels usually don't get lower than 6 to 10%. So that's basically as dry as it gets in most years, and not quite as dry up in the central Idaho mountains or western Wyoming yet, but it's actually approaching there. It's also into the Caribou Targhese a little bit. Looking at the ERCs, what stands out is those areas of purple. Those are above 97th percentile to record levels, covering a large portion of the region into eastern Idaho, and also very dry in western Wyoming. Modified a bit as you go further westwards into Idaho, and especially along the Sierra Front from some of the clouds and showers during the last week of July. But that's coming to an end, And we'll see holdovers in some of those heavy fuels start popping up as the hotter, drier weather returns to some of those areas. Another concern is the record low live fuel moisture in the sagebrush across a good portion of Nevada and parts of western Utah as well. It's just one of many examples, but tells the same story. Um, the gold, the little ball there, indicates live fuel moisture about 77% or so, and anything below 100 can cause extreme fire behavior. Anything below 80 is as bad as it gets. We're getting into the 70s and 60s. Also, a lot of sagebrush die off being reported in many central areas of the Great Basin, especially in Nevada. So that's another big concern and part of the equation. So what happens from here? Basically, we do look at the 8 to 14-day temperatures and above normal temperatures on the left, but more disconcerting is the below normal precipitation probability centered on the four corners, extending northwards. You see the green that's wrapping around southern Arizona and going into California and Pacific Northwest. The monsoon kind of shredded out, and whatever's left of it is angling towards California. So, not much relief for some of our large fires in southern Utah and the Arizona Strip going into mid August and maybe beyond. Now, the temperature outlooks for the month of August above normal temperatures is going to be kind of a heat dome. It's going to be building across the west. So we could see a return to triple digit valley temperatures in central areas of the Great Basin, even northern areas. And it's going to dry out. So you see the below normal precipitation probabilities through August in southern and central areas, more so in the east. So lack of monsoon. Now, the August, September, October outlook is bleak. On the left, temperatures above normal, significantly above normal probabilities of warmer temperatures. And on the left, a drier signal where basically the monsoon starts ending at the end of August and going to September. The westerlies coming in from Alaska can sometimes bring precip to our northern areas, but that's forecast to not happen. It's actually going to be up in Alaska. You see Alaska much above normal down there in the corner with precipitation. So could be a long fire season currently in the south and expanding into northern areas as we go into later August, September, and possibly even into October. So we put all the pieces together. And this is our above normal probabilities covering about 2/3 of the geographic area. Um, Probably easier to talk about where it's going to be closer to normal. Much of the central mountains of Idaho, especially towards the Payette, that had a lot of clouds and showers. That's going to limit they'll bounce back for sure, but their activity may not start perking up for large fires until the middle to latter part of August. Western Wyoming's been considerably drier, and even though they're wetted down a little bit, they should be back to the 90th to 95th percentile by the end of the first week of August and get drier than that beyond. So we have those same areas. Now we expect the Idaho mountains to come fully into play in September, and we may even expand that eastwards to cover eastern Idaho and maybe parts of northern Utah and the Wasatch as well. We'll have to wait and see on that. Otherwise, normal for now in October without a clear signal. And October can change in the blink of an eye, so almost impossible to predict October. And November is typically season ending, so hopefully no issues over there. This concludes our briefing. Have a good one, and we'll be back with the next seasonal update on the 1st of September. Have a great day.